Here with the latest news on your $2,000 fourth stimulus check update, as well as recurring stimulus check update. Now, according to this report, thousands of low-income families who signed up to receive the expanded child tax credits before the November 15th deadline could receive 6 months of payments in December, and this could amount to $1,800 per child. Wow. And also, Senator Joe Manchin is apparently calling on President Biden to restore the Keystone XL pipeline. Now, remember, this is the oil pipeline project that President Biden and the administration ended earlier this year. Why could Manchin be bringing this up right now? Lastly, this report reveals that a poll found that most registered voters blame President Biden and Congress for the global supply chain and delivery issues that are actively and currently affecting Americans. And with all the problems and rising prices right now, this really is not a surprise. We'll discuss all these and more in our video today, so definitely stick around to the end. But first, I want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are doing very well today. For those who are brand new to the channel, my name is Ron. We cover all things personal finance, cryptocurrencies, housing market updates, stock market updates, and of course, stimulus package updates. So if you have not already, hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell. That way you're notified as soon as I release new videos and content. And also, I've also released more videos on how to generate income from home. You'll see some helpful links in the comments as well as in the description down below. And also, don't forget to get your free home warranty quote link in the description down below, as well as in the pinned comment down below. But let's go and jump right into this video. All right, so I've got some great news for you guys. Now, according to this report, thousands of low-income families who signed up to receive the expanded child tax credit before the November 15th deadline could receive 6 months of payments in December, which is about $1,800 per child. Wow, I know, right? Now, this is a welcome surprise for all the families that are a part of this program. But what are the details of this? Let's go ahead and find out about this one here. So the size of the tax credit was increased as part of President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion virus relief package earlier this year and made fully available for families without tax obligations. Now, this credit is now $3,600 annually for children under the age of 6 and $3,000 for children age 6 to 17 years old. 6 months of payments were advanced on a monthly basis through the end of 2021, meaning families received $300 monthly for each child under the age of 6 and $250 per older child. A lot of people cashing checks every month. Now, regarding that $1,800 benefit next month, eligible families are actually automatically enrolled on their 2021 tax returns. Now, you guys might have missed this one, so make sure you guys check to see if you're automatically registered to receive this credit. Now, on the other hand, low-income families had to sign up before the November 15th deadline in order to receive all the money. The sign-up was very easy. It was an online process, which the White House and their Treasury Department assigned to a nonprofit organization, Code for America. Now, this is great news, guys. This means more stimulus for more families all across the country, and I'm pretty sure everyone appreciates these much-needed stimulus checks. Now, the same article mentioned that this was part of the previous stimulus package from earlier this year. The program became a success, and now Democrats are actually pushing for an extension of this benefit for the current bill. Child tax credits could become a frequent and routine benefit, so you guys should be looking out for this. However, just like all the other things, there is opposition to this program too. Got Senator Joe Manchin standing out as the main guy against the child tax credits, especially since he has called to add a work requirement to the benefit. Democrats, of course, they expressed their disapproval of such conditions, and they said some things to Manchin. Now, if I recall correctly, Manchin's also against a long-term extension of the child tax credits, and Democrats initially pushed for a 5-year extension, but they shortened the expansion to just 1 year due to budget cuts and opposition, which is a huge difference. So let's get back to the article. David Newville, Senior Program Director for Tax Benefits at Code for America, estimated that up to 50,000 families may have registered in time to get 6 months worth of child tax payments next month. But he clarified not everyone who filed for the November 15th deadline will get the December 15th payment. Quote, I think for most people, it'll probably go through. This is what he told Newsweek. Quote, but if there's like an issue with the return or the IRS flags it, it may get held up and may not get the payment in time. Wow. The IRS will give around 50,000 families 6 months worth of payments next month. That's a lot, guys. The significant amount is for a one-time check, and this is just in time for the holidays. Now, I'm pretty sure that some children will be getting some pretty lovely gifts from Santa next month. Now, another important note is that a Treasury spokesperson has said that families who fail to sign up for the deadline by November 15th can still claim their full CTCs during next year's tax season. So, even if you didn't fill it out in time, the money's not lost. And so what this means is that this won't be just a one-time thing. You could have an opportunity next year. If this program continues to get extended, we can possibly expect this to happen in the following years, hopefully the next one as well. Describing this credit as, quote, transformational, Newville added, we've all seen the impact it's had for families in a few short months already in terms of lowering hunger and improving housing security and health outcomes for children and for families. All those positive outcomes have quickly shown up along with a very rapid drop in poverty. The Build Back Better legislation that passed the House this month will extend the expanded child tax credit for another year. Quote, it takes time to build awareness and trust to bring people to the system. So having another year to continue this outreach is really fantastic, Newville said. I think we can reach many, many more families next year with this extension. So indeed, the child tax credits program has been very transformational. Lots of families benefiting from this money, and it's no surprise that it has quickly become popular among people. Thousands of families have experienced improved improved qualities of life due to these extra tax credits or stimulus checks, however you want to call them. And I expect the trend to continue. Now, with all these great benefits taken into account, I wonder why Manchin thought it would be great to suggest a work requirement for the child tax credits. Studies have even shown that millions of children have avoided poverty primarily due to the benefit of this provision. I doubt Democrats really want to risk millions of children going into poverty by allowing Manchin to have his way with adding a work requirement. So we might not really have to be worried about this after all. But what do you guys think about this though? Are you due to receive this $1,800 stimulus payment next month, or did you miss the deadline? But don't worry though, especially since this won't be the last time. The child tax credits program is widespread and Democrats are insistent on pushing for this, so expect this to stay around for a long time. Let me know what your thoughts are on this one in the comments below. All right guys, so up next, we have some news regarding Senator Joe Manchin here. Now with the rising gas prices across the country right now, Joe Manchin is apparently calling on President Biden to restore the Keystone XL pipeline. Now remember, this is the oil pipeline project that President Biden and the administration ended earlier this year. Now why could Manchin be bringing this up right now? Could the Keystone pipeline project be one of the solutions to the current rising gas prices? Let's read more about this right here. Quote, I continue to call on President Biden to responsibly increase energy production here at home to reverse course to allow the Keystone XL pipeline to be built, which would have provided our country with up to 900,000 barrels of oil per day from Canada, one of our closest allies. This is what Manchin said in a Tuesday statement. Quote, to be clear, this is about American energy independence and the fact that hardworking Americans should not depend on foreign actors like OPEC for our energy security and instead focus on real challenges facing our country's future. So Manchin, once again, he's making headlines, but this time is regarding the currently rising gas prices. So he offered a suggestion, and it's to continue the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. Now remember, this Keystone pipeline project is an oil pipeline system connecting Canada and the United States, which began construction in 2010. Now it went through many ups and downs during its almost decade-long construction, but finally, President Biden issued an executive order last June to terminate the construction of the said project for several reasons, especially environmental concerns. Now, as of this moment, it remains unfinished. Manchin's claim that the pipeline would provide our country with 900,000 barrels of oil per day from Canada, it's true. Now, of course, that's the purpose of the project. But hypothetically now, would this actually lower gas prices? How much are gas prices where you're at right now? Got a buddy in California right now. He said he's happy to see gas prices at $5.50 at his local Sam's Club. That's just crazy to me. Now, I can't say for sure if this is actually going to lower gas prices, but it is something to think about. But yeah, comment down below, how much are gas prices in your area? Now, Manchin's suggestion came after the White House revealed a plan to release 50 million barrels of oil from our country's strategic petroleum reserve to try and limit the rise in gas prices. Perhaps Manchin doesn't want us to tap that reserve yet, which is why he's calling for the continuation of the Keystone pipeline project. Whatever the case may be, problem of rising gas prices, it really won't be an issue that has an overnight solution. Let's just be honest here. Now, unfortunately, it will take some time before we actually get back to better prices. But let's continue. Manchin also addressed the issue of inflation in the country last week, meaning his belief that Democrats' Build Back Better Act, which was recently passed by the House and will be taken up in the Senate, would not help lower prices. Quote, the cost they see every day, and every day they go to fill up is $1.25 more per gallon. This is what he said of rising gas prices at the time. $3.29, $3.39 a gallon. Quote, a gallon of milk is now $4 in many places. It's taking a toll. And I hear it when I go to the grocery store or if I go to the gas station. They say, are you as mad as I am? And I say, absolutely. That's what Manchin said. So once again, Manchin brought up the stimulus bill and his stance against it. Now, at this point, we already know his reasons, but still, Democrats are insistent in persuading him. We can't really let Manchin have his way and continue opposing the bill. Now remember guys, the Democrats are passing the stimulus bill through reconciliation where they don't need Republicans' votes to help pass the bill. The only problem that they have to worry about is getting a unanimous vote from their own party. However, this is proving to be a little bit more complicated than they initially advertised to us, especially since two senators, particularly Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, are delaying the bill's negotiations in the Senate. Now with all the other problems that the Senate has to tackle, Senate Democrats are definitely in a tough spot right now. Now although the situation is a bit tricky and challenging, Democrats are still eager to push for the many priorities on their agenda. Some of these priorities include Medicare expansion, an extension of the child tax credits, which as we saw earlier is really going well, universal pre-K, climate change policy, lower drug prices, social security raises, affordable housing, rental assistance, free community college, paid leave, so many good things that could possibly come in that stimulus package. Now of course they've been thinking and actually pushing bills before Congress for a fourth stimulus check, which they discussed several months back. Of course, lawmakers have not really made a whole lot of progress on that lately, but the chances are still there, although they are slim. Now we got to keep in mind though that Congress, they have always made last minute changes in important bills, so I'm going to watch this one till the very end because you never know what they could tuck in there at the last minute. Could be possibly a fourth stimulus check for all we know. Now nothing is over until President Biden signs the bill into law, guys. Now with the original price tag going from the original $6 trillion proposal to around $1.75 trillion now, Democrats said that they have to make some necessary compromises, meaning that they will remove some programs from the bill or at least shorten the duration that these different provisions last for. Now, of course, the opposition is also a factor in this case. So you got Manchin, you got Sinema, they actually have a ton of leverage and influence here due to the setup of this reconciliation process. So with time winding down, I would expect Democrats to ramp up the pressure in order to get things done once they resume the proceedings. Now, regarding inflation, Democrats say that the stimulus bill will help lower its effects by adding jobs, providing more people with assistance, and most importantly, by being fully paid for. Democrats have been touting the legislation as one of the most transformational packages yet, so the expectations are quite high. Hopefully, Democrats can actually get this done in time, since the bill could help several problems that we currently face. Now, what do you guys think about this? Should the Biden administration continue the construction of the Keystone Pipeline project? The benefits would be significant, but the drawbacks are also fairly considerable as well. So honestly, it's a very tricky situation, which the Democrats, of course, have to maneuver through. But drop me a comment down below. Let's discuss this as well. All right, so last but definitely not least, let's go over some polls and find out exactly what the public sentiment was toward President Biden and Congress currently. So this report actually reveals that a poll found that most registered voters blame President Biden and Congress for the global supply chain problems as well as delivery issues affecting Americans. Now, with all the problems and rising prices right now, this is really not a surprise. But could Biden and Congress do something to address this and actually improve approval ratings? Let's first look at the numbers here. So the survey conducted by Morning Consult and Politico found that 62% of registered voters believe President Biden bears some responsibility for the supply chain as well as delivery problems. 38% said Biden is very responsible, and 24% said he is somewhat responsible. For comparison, 15% said that the president is not too responsible, 12% of registered voters says he does not bear any responsibility, and 10% said that they do not have an opinion. Now, this is another bad look for President Biden here. Public sentiment seems to be falling for President Biden, and it's really not surprising. Now, with the many problems now, it would be easy to blame the president for everything while blindly expecting incoming change. However, at this point, there are just too many factors playing together here, and we can't just single out the president as the sole person responsible for all these events. That's kind of not fair either. Now, when it comes to Congress, 61% of voters, they said that they believe that the legislative bodies bears responsibility for the supply chain and delivery issues. 26% said that Congress is responsible, and 35% said it was somewhat responsible. And on the other hand, 17% said Congress is not too responsible, 7% said it's not responsible at all, 15% said that they don't have an opinion. Now, whether President Biden and Congress are genuinely responsible for current problems such as inflation, maybe supply chain issues, they have actually already come up with a plan for this. Now, remember, the infrastructure bill, which Biden signed into law, the newly signed law has provisions that will address the many issues that we're currently facing, which will definitely lessen the problems that we have to deal with, especially during this pandemic. All in all, this poll reveals that Democrats, they don't have a stable hold on the people yet, which could affect their midterm chances. Now, the midterm elections are fast approaching, so many lawmakers are extra aware of their actions and people's thoughts. Now, if the Democrats somehow get to solve many significant issues through the stimulus bill, that would be a game-changing achievement, which would change the political landscape. What do you guys think about all this, though? Honestly, there are many things to consider regarding this news, but the main point is that people are currently not completely satisfied with Biden and with Congress. Now, this could affect the stimulus bill, but hopefully it won't be in a negative way. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments below. So anyway, guys, that's all for the news on your fourth stimulus check update. Recurring stimulus check update. Thousands of families are about to receive a huge check from child tax credits next month. Joe Manchin's calling on President Biden to restore the Keystone Pipeline project. And of course, the polls revealing the voters that they're blaming President Biden and Congress for the many problems we have now. So what do you guys think about this? Hit me up in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I do hope you appreciated it all. As always, thanks for showing love by hitting the like button. Also, don't forget to take full advantage of the videos that I've dropped earlier. Links in the description down below if you want to learn how to make money online, create online businesses. Links are in the description down below. Also, don't forget to get your free home warranty quote link in the description as well as in the pinned comment down below.